All right, good morning and welcome back to our day 4 session. Um, Today's session is more of a practical exercise as we discussed in day 3, our session yesterday. So this session is going to last for about 15-20 minutes, and we'll try to do a quick rehearsal in terms of what you need to do today. You have a list of 200 candidates. I have a slide for that, and I will get there in a few minutes. Um, Now, this is a kind of a pre-recruitment exercise that you would follow. You're just connecting with candidates to understand their availability in the market and their background. If a candidate, wants to discuss more with you, since you won't have much answers, try to take as much information as possible, and we will send it over to our senior recruitment member team. So for now, we're doing this as a pre-recruitment check, pre-recruitment exercise, trying to call about 200 candidates based on a spreadsheet, a list provided to you by your manager. And so you probably be connecting to candidates or you're going to be leaving voicemail. So once again, every call should be followed by an email. This is going to be a future and forever universal practice. Every time you have, irrespective of, this is not just for this exercise, this is for any time in the future when you begin recruitment, you would be calling and emailing always. And if you're connecting with candidates on WhatsApp, that's another mechanism. But don't forget, as a rule of the thumb, every call should be connected to an email. Make a phone call first. So every time you're attempting to connect with a candidate, phone calls, phone calls, phone calls, phone calls are the blood and flesh of this whole process. So then you follow up with an email. Any process, any task, you have a connection with someone, even outside calling candidates, even if you're going to talk to your team members, your managers or your peers, if you had a phone conversation, follow up with an email so they have a record. And you are doing it twice and you're ingraining this into their heads so they don't forget. So for the calls, when you begin making those phone calls, use the call script provided to you. It will be provided by your operations manager. Please, I know you've had a rehearsal yesterday, but please thoroughly check the calling script. You can change the words. You don't have to read it out the way it is, based on your language skills. You can always make changes. Make it more like, excuse me, make it more uh, like a conversation when you normally talk to people. Be pretty normal. This is just a sample of how it looks like. You can use your own words, make changes, but don't forget to thank people. Every time they tell you something, I would always supplement it with a thank you. So if you are on a call for 3 minutes, there are probably 3 or 4 or 5 thank yous, and make sure you thank them at the end of the call. And also in your emails. Um, Something is missing here. Hold on for 1 second, please. Okay, so this is your typical call script, which is probably shared by your manager at your location. So if I do know there are 2 other participants from another company, I will share the script with your manager, edit the company and other names as appropriate. And this is a general call script when you call candidates. And as you're aware, we did a drill yesterday with polite candidates, the rude candidates, and leaving voicemails. Once again, I would like to stress on, please ensure you speak very, very slowly, very clearly, as slow as you can. It does not really matter. People, you don't want to stretch it forever, but then be very crystal clear and be very clear and very, very slow. Please keep in mind, this needs to be practiced. Once you start making these phone calls, once you get used to speaking fast, now you are going to be permanently speaking fast. It is very tough to change that process after a year or two. Okay, so please keep in mind, please speak very, very slowly. And this is the email script. I will, talk about this once again. uh, for the calls connected. You have the script for what you need to ask them and what data you are collecting from the candidate. And when you call them, you can break this up. Sorry, not this. The calling script. But then this is right after you speak with the candidate. Don't wait to make 5 phone calls. This is a bad practice. You will mix it up. You'll mix up names. Right after you complete, this is what I would do. I would go to the spreadsheet, highlight that area, put your own comments, put some color that you have sent an email. So maybe write notes on the spreadsheet that you have sent an email, then go into the next record. It is a bad idea to do multitasking. It only causes, it'll be chaotic, you will get confused, and you'll mix them up. When after you made 200 phone calls, imagine if you had 20 people calling you back, then there's no way to track this. You get confused between, what happened. But for this exercise, it's a standard script, it's a standard call. We're just trying to understand if the candidate is available in the market. So it makes your life a lot easier. But then in the future, when you get into the recruitment actions, that's where you might get into trouble. We'll probably try to give you, I think they have something called one of the applicant tracking systems that we use. It's a third party service, which gives you the ability to track, add notes. I think we have a session, I think next Tuesday, with those folks from a company called CPAL. This video is going on YouTube. CPAL guys, this is a free advertising for you, by the way. So this is going to be the script for email script for connected calls. And this is the script where you have a voicemail that you have left a voicemail. Replace names, don't copy and paste. This one has my name. So you need to replace that. And this is the script you're going to copy and paste. It also gives you the ability to, people can click on that link and follow our daily jobs. And at Hierarchy People, we post our jobs on a daily basis, also on social platforms like LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. These are the top 4 social platforms. So our social media folks, they do broadcast jobs into our social networks, as well as tons of WhatsApp and Facebook groups. So just for your knowledge. So if they search for at Hierarchy People, I'm sure they will find our handle. This is our handle. Once they use this handle, they should be able to find our jobs. Okay. Somebody just joined, but then just make sure we need to have some discipline in terms of, when we are at training. So because you don't want to miss this. This is pretty important. And discipline in terms of connecting with candidates. You have a candidate, there is a competition out there. First come first. If we are a vendor to a large companies working on a job, you're not the only one who's doing this. There are a bunch of other vendors, bunch of other recruiters working on it. So you might miss on a candidate if you're not disciplined. So please be disciplined, and specifically calls and meetings, you should always be on time. Okay, this is the voicemail script. If you jump into, again, this is shared. Your manager will share this with you before you begin your efforts today. So keep this in mind until you, if let it be, 5:30 Eastern time. Don't think of going home today. Complete your 200 calls and sit down, wait for people to call you back as well. So there might be people sitting in PST time zone in California, Chicago, different places, Midwest. So stay up until, if you need to put in an extra hour or two, this is going to be a great exercise for you. So don't miss this opportunity. You must complete the 200 phone calls today. And if there are bad numbers, you might even encounter some out of service numbers. Black it out and make a count and go back to your manager. Harsh, if 50 numbers are bad, you need to add another 50 records for them to complete the 200 connected.
Okay.
Or voicemail, whatever it is. We must have 200 active contacts. I'm sure from the database maybe a lot of numbers are obsolete. Okay, so this is the spreadsheet that I just have like a screenshot because of the width of the spreadsheet. I can copy everything, but I try to squeeze it in. You have the applicant name, you have the email, their mobile number, so a phone number.
Then your screen is not shared.
Oh my God. Okay. Share the screen once again. All right, I think we've had this trouble, so let's try to go back to those slides as we spoke, because it's a video call. I'll quickly go back once again. I'm not going to lecture again, but then, so since the screen was not shared, so day 4, this is going to be a pre-recruitment exercise. Use the call script, and this is the script, a basic script. You can use your own words while you're speaking, and right after every call, you're going to send an email. Even if it goes to voicemail, you'll still follow up with an email. And then this is a script for voicemail. Pretty simple. Don't leave like too lengthy. I often see people, leaving a very lengthy voicemail. It does not make sense. It might get garbled. They may not even understand what you're trying to say. Make it very simple. My name is blah, blah, blah. I'm a technical recruiter with Hire IT People Inc. And we have several positions with our clients, matching your background and skills. If you're in the market, please call me back at XXX, your phone number, or email me at xyz@hireitpeople.net. And when you spell the phone numbers, make sure you are very slow and clear. So don't say, for example, your phone number is 202-588-1841. Don't say 202-588-1841. A lot of messages that I get, I can't understand the phone number. Be very clear. 202-588-1841. This should be, and repeat the number. So if you miss something the first time, you repeat in a different style. 202-588-1841. So I've used 2 different styles. And then with your email, you must spell it out. They're not going to know. If you just say hireitpeople.net, it's a little confusing word. People think hire, Higher. So you want to clearly spell. For example, if your name is Harsh, you spell it out. You say Harsh at hireitpeople.net, but spell again, stating H as in Harry, A as in Apple, R as in Robert, S as in Sam, H as in Harry, at. Don't say at the rate, just say at. Hire. You can say hire as in rent, HIRE, IT as in information technology, people like public, hireitpeople.net. You're not using the .com email, so stress on .net and thank them. Thank you. So this is the spreadsheet where when you make that phone call, I'll try to quickly squeeze this in so you can get into action. There is a pre-filled data. This is from our database. So we already spoke about where we found their phone number and contacts. So you're going to start with their major skills, their experience, and what type of, if they're available, what type of jobs they're looking for. Even if they're not available, you should ask them, hey, can I still collect data for our future reference? And when is the, Harsh, I think we should add one more column here,
Okay.
which would say date of, if they're not available, the next column should be, if the answer is no, then what is the expected date of availability. Maybe they're on a 6-month project. We'll try to import this data, and after
Okay.
6 months we can always connect with them. So add one more
Sure.
field, so they are able to capture that data as well. And
Okay.
then what kind of, so you're capturing total experience, what kind of jobs they're looking for. If they're going to go in detail, type in everything. If it's too fast, keep writing on a piece of paper, scribble it down, and update your spreadsheet. And the work authorization, I think they have a drop down. If you see something which is not in the drop down anywhere, then you try to add that into notes. Hey, I did not find the drop down for this work permit. I'm sure everything is covered, but if anything is missing for any of these fields, are they willing to relocate? If yes, Harsh, you need to have one more column there.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, they might say, just like in our test call, somebody said, anywhere in East Coast, North Carolina, in a bunch of states. So
Mm-hmm.
people might say, I can go to New York, I can go to Chicago, or I can go to California, maybe. So add one more.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're on
If
H-1B, are you willing to transfer? Yes, no. And you're done. Right after you had that phone conversation, now you're sending out an email. If it goes to voicemail, you're still sending an email. If the call is returned, when he calls back, take that call and ensure you find that record and update that record on the spreadsheet. Now, on the other side, while you're on a call, if you have a missed call, keep checking your voicemails, because if you want to attempt 200 calls and start leaving voicemail messages, many people might call you back. And let's see how this works, how many actually call back. All right, any questions, guys? Or should we end this here and you get into action? I'm sure you'll have a lot of questions when we do a review on this after you speak with candidates. Um, but for now, any questions? Okay. All right. I wish you good luck with your first calling efforts, and let's see how it goes. Hopefully tomorrow, Kathleen Parker is going to do a session explaining what is a resume and how resumes look like and what is a job requirement. So she will do the practical session. She will show you a bunch of jobs, bunch of resumes, and how things are getting matched, and then how to format resumes to ensure the look and feel is the same. How to read through resumes. She would probably cover for about an hour, and Monday is going to be, most likely I will come back with postings, and we'll try to wind this up if possible on Monday. So be prepared for a longer session on Monday. I will take 2 hours. We still have to cover the tax terms, which we have not covered yet. I'd like to make it a separate session, um, trying to tie it into the immigration and work permits. So that's something which we will have Monday, which would be day 6, followed by searches, finding candidates on job boards. After the posting is done on the internet, then I think Ranjit will take over with Boolean searches, finding passive, active candidates. Active is people who are actively looking. Passive are people who are not actively looking, who are probably sleeping or they have another job. They're not really, quickly interested in, getting into a project. So this is what we have in store for the upcoming sessions. So hopefully we'll wind this up by next Tuesday, and you are going to be live, most likely, unless something changes. There's a delay with training. Let's schedule, keep a deadline, a milestone for to complete everything by Tuesday and go into live recruitment action, sourcing and recruitment next Wednesday. Thank you guys. Good luck once again. And if you have any trouble, uh, connect with Harsh, and you have Kathleen as well to help. If you need more help, they can bring you more help. Thank you and have a great day. Bye now.